Hi, Original Soul. Welcome into this reading. I hope you're doing really super well. And let's dive into the cards that we've got, and then we'll add some tarot to it. So number 34, protection from all dangers. Number 40, bleeding rituals. And then out of the crystal deck, Danbarite. And then some underlying energy that popped out here out of this curiosity deck, status symbol. All right, so we'll add some more cards here to it. You could be seeing 34s, 40s, or maybe that's your age. Also 111 for repeating numbers, which could be about new beginnings. So maybe there is a new beginning or something brewing there. And then in terms of spirit animals, we've got hummingbirds, antelope, lions, rabbits, and dogs. Right, so maybe some of those are animal friends that have been showing up or popping up in your awareness. All right, but let's add some tarot to it. So we've got cards out here, protection from all dangers. So maybe there's something that you feel like you need to be protected from, or a situation you might be dealing with that has you a little bit concerned or worried. Bleeding rituals is about doing something to honor yourself, or, different cycles. Just something really to get more in touch and in tune with nature and those natural cycles and appreciating something about that. And then Danbarite out of the crystal deck, turn on your electric light. All right, so this could go from kind of something maybe that you'd been feeling a little bit fearful of, and you're moving more into a place of kind of honoring, what you've been through, life in general, maybe some of the cycles you've been through, ready to start something new, and you're ready to shine a little bit brighter. With the status symbol card out here as well, maybe there's a shift in your perspective. You could have been maybe a little bit more focused on external or getting, things to kind of up your status or the way other people see you. But maybe you found that hasn't really worked for you or hasn't actually been fulfilling or made you happy. So you could be turning again more to your internal world, what makes you happy, something more natural. Could even be doing something where, you work with the earth or garden, or again, just more your authentic self. All right, let's see what wants to come out here. So 3 of Cups, something that you're looking for to celebrate a little more. Maybe you're even collaborating with others, but this is about uplifting your emotions a little bit more. So getting out of that fear-based mindset, and doing something that lets you feel a little bit more free. Like I was mentioning, being more authentic. You could even find that, once you start shifting your energy that way, that might even bring you into alignment with, could be friends that you already have, or a different type of group of people where you really kind of click. 9 of Cups out as well. So this can be about wish fulfillment. I like how content she looks sitting there by the ocean and the waves. She's got the cups stacked up behind her. Maybe you do let sounds of either water, ocean, rain, kind of that wave sound, you could use that as, a way to soothe, or even during meditation, or maybe you do that when you fall asleep. So yeah, this is about honoring your hopes and desires a little bit more, which leads to something to celebrate. All right, and we've got Queen of Swords and the Chariot out as well. All right, so there could have been someone else that you were dealing with, whether this is a mother figure or possibly a feminine or a female figure in your life. Maybe that you have either needed to stand up to a little bit more, or things have not just been as smooth or as comfortable as they used to be. So there could be someone that you've either been butting heads with, or that you've just had either a change in your perspective, a change in your feelings. And that has you wanting to take a different direction. Look at the Chariot, how there's this way or that. Like I said, this is letting your internal compass guide you a little bit more, as opposed to taking advice or following the direction of someone else. This also could be you deciding to take more control, make your own decisions. And maybe that's something that you've been afraid of before, or you maybe have felt like, doing things your own way or trying something new or different. Maybe that's something you felt, out of your comfort zone. And so with that unknown, there can be some fear or feeling like you need to be protected. Maybe you've been protecting someone else's feelings as well, but, like I said, you're really kind of at a point where you want to do things your own way, and honoring your authentic self. And so that does have you going down a new direction. This is something that could kind of take off or happen really quickly. This also has a really good opportunity for success. So being a little bit more clear-headed, maybe not letting fear control how you're making your decisions, right? Trusting yourself like the Queen of Swords would. That's being clear, concise, following your own path. And then with the Chariot, again, that is moving forward, trusting your guidance as opposed to that from others around you. Yeah, not staying stuck. With the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, that definitely can be about a comfort zone, right? Staying where you know the status quo, you know what to expect. That can feel safe and make us feel in a way protected, but that can also lead to stagnancy, being stuck or not really reaching your full potential. All right, let's get maybe one or two more here. Yeah, so with the status symbol, someone's chasing symbols instead of substance and wondering why it still feels empty. And then here's this Eight of Wands. So again, this could be either with yourself or with someone else. And there's that tornado going on there, where maybe there's been a lot of effort and energy put into whether it's a certain relationship. It could even be a career path, right? That you really thought that's what you wanted. Maybe it got you some certain sort of title, a certain amount of money, a certain amount of prestige, something like that. But really there's just not fulfillment coming out of that. Instead, it's creating more of a chaotic feeling internally, no matter how much energy you put into that. So maybe whatever change or path you're starting to go down, is going to stir some shit up a little bit. I said not everyone maybe will agree or understand, but as you start to move, right, with the Chariot, start to move more towards your happiness, more towards being content, regardless of what, right, the outside world tells you you should be doing, following your own compass, your own heart. And that really does lead to feeling more uplifted, feeling happy, celebrating, right? Some amount of success is going to come from that. And that's really going to light you up from the inside. Yeah, and this definitely could be just a totally new path with the Page of Pentacles at the bottom. So learning something new, trying something new, going down a new road, noticing the map there at the bottom. So this could be a complete shift in direction, whether it's for your career, or just a shift with your priorities and what you actually feel is important to put your energy and time into. All right, let's see here. We've got a card from the Archangel Michael deck. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. All right, so like I said at the beginning, maybe there is a new beginning that you've been a little afraid to take, scared to do. But at least with the way these cards are coming out, you're ready to honor yourself, your desires, You're ready to do things that light you up and fill you up. Right? And that's going to align you not only with yourself, but also with others that have those same values. All right, so let's read here. Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. All right, beautiful. Okay, let's see. Why don't we get a spirit animal, even though I already listed out a couple of spirit animals that may be popping up for you, but we'll see what wants to come out of this deck. All right, and do you have something that you're kind of shifting or starting, or that you've been thinking about? For some of you, you could already be kind of cruising down this new path. Maybe finding that you feel lighter after potentially, right, staying in a situation or just kind of letting chaos run things for a while, right? Getting out of your comfort zone. Scary at first, but definitely worth it once you kind of push through that barrier, that blockage. All right, dog showed up again. I know I mentioned dog at the beginning with loyalty. Definitely being loyal to yourself and your desires and those kind of nudges that you're getting internal. You may be feeling like those around you let you down or are not doing their fair share of work. This comes as a reminder that loyalty exists and you must not settle for anything less. You deserve better than mixed signals. Right, so again, whatever the situation is, work, or it could be a relationship, right? Maybe you're starting to see motives of others more clearly, or maybe you're starting to just notice your own motivations and why you're doing what you're doing, or maybe how what you've done in the past, again, has not been fulfilling and you're really wanting to move towards a more fulfilling path. All right, we'll get one out of the Angel Tarot here. All right, so overall, though, pretty exciting energy moving forward, even though there may be a little bit of uncertainty or feeling some chaos, even if that's just inside, right? Knowing that you can push back, push through that. Right, that your internal compass is not going to steer you wrong. All right, Two of Pentacles. Poyel, number 56. God who supports the universe. Fortune and fame fulfills any request. All right. So Pentacles, especially twos, that can be about choice or weighing out your options. Again, really picking up on the this way or that. So maybe there are two different directions you could go down. Or maybe one is staying the way things are, which is this way. But you're really drawn to go that way, which is something else and something new. And with the Chariot, right, being supported by the universe. Fulfills any request, so that's wish fulfillment right here. All right, so definitely time to maybe go for that change, go for that new beginning. Right, know that you are protected. Honor yourself and the cycles that you've been through. Maybe now it's time to find a new cycle, something that lights you up and fulfills you even more. All right, what an awesome reading. So that is what we have here for this reading. I hope there was something helpful here for you, and that you've got some new exciting beginning that you're ready to venture towards. But yeah, that's what we've got. And until next time, peace.